Hi, this is Yesenia and Sam.
And you're watching ONT Now.
So, walking around, I've noticed a couple things. I mean, you've seen the red ones, you've seen the green ones, the yellow ones, the black ones, but no brown ones yet.
What are we talking about, you're saying?
The rideshare bikes.
Rideshare bikes. Of course, rideshare bikes. Yeah, that actually is like, I'm actually starting to see a lot of those bikes too. Around.
Yes, and I actually rode one for the very first time the other day.
Which one did you ride?
Well, it was a Divi one because I had to go to 83rd Street to get one.
Yeah.
But then I noticed that they do have them like random places, which I don't really know how to use those yet. So
exactly. So actually, what we ended up doing, we did a little bit of research trying to figure out what we've got out there because yes, they all are different colors, and apparently the colors kind of matches what the brand is or what the type is. I actually have been riding a Divi for 2 years now. I've had the membership, like the annual membership. So I ride it whenever I can. So it's interesting how that works. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But since Divi is kind of the one that started it all, right? I think that the one that we have, the closest to the southeast side of the 10th Ward is 83rd Street by the train station, I believe. But they did kind of change how they do it. So this information we're going to provide just for the community, right? Because I'm sure a lot of people have seen the bikes and didn't get out of the car and stop and do some research. It was the same way for me. So the way the Divi bike works is, there's a lot of them around. A lot of them are actually using apps to show how many bikes are where and location type stuff. And you can actually rent bikes. So
before you go to the location, you already know where you can find them.
Yeah, you can actually.
And you don't just show up and.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the best things about it. Funny thing is, a couple of times, like I actually timed it where I was like, okay, there's 2 bikes. And I'd walk around the corner, and right at the same time, when I check the app that there's 2 bikes, I see 2 people grabbing them, and then it's like, oh my God, now I have to look for wherever else. But the way that works is they actually added just kind of like a single ride quick trip where it's $3. And I think you get 30 minutes for $3. You can do an Explorer Pass on the Divi for $15 a day.
Okay.
And then they have an annual thing for $99 a year. So if you think about how much it costs for just a ride or just a day, if you're going to be using the bikes, the annual thing would probably be the best way to go about it.
So you can use it unlimited for that $99 a year?
Yeah, so $99. The way they want you to do it is they only want you to rent them, I think, like 30 minutes at a time.
Okay.
So the purpose of the Divi and how many locations that they have is so that you can just take quick trips. So the intention isn't to rent a bike and you ride it around the city all day long. If you're going to do that, you have to dock it every 30 minutes, and then you start the clock again. Okay. But you can dock it as often as you like. You can dock a bike and then...
if you have the unlimited, that's great.
I mean, you could dock it and take it out right away. So then there's another one that I've been seeing kind of interesting is for us in our neighborhood, because for whatever reason, the Divi has been kind of slow to implement the locations, right?
But is it because they have like set locations as opposed to some of the other colored ones that I've seen? Yeah. You can pretty much tie them up anywhere.
Right.
Correct?
So the main difference between the Divi and the other bikes is that the Divi requires a set location with if you've seen them, they kind of look like turnstiles, right? Yeah. So but they're 10, sometimes 10, 30 bikes, and you kind of have to push it in and it locks. So it's set specific locations you have to do that. But the interesting thing about the pace bike and the jump bike is that they don't require. It's like each bike is its own dock. It's its own docking station because each one comes with a lock, right? So you can ride the bike, and all they say is, I guess there's a defined boundary as far as what the neighborhoods are concerned, where they don't want you to take it out of the boundary. So as long as you ride the bike and you park it within the boundary, lock it onto a pole or whatever, you're good. So the way the pace bikes work are that again, the bike is available where you can find it. There is an app that tells you. I think each bike has like GPS in it. So you can look at the app, you can look at an app, and you can find the bike. You pay for the bike through the app, take a ride, lock it up.
Yeah. And those are the ones that I've been seeing. I just wasn't too sure how to use those.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I really like that. I think that this is very beneficial, especially because we are in a community that, we have the transportation, we have a metro, but we don't have like the L train systems like they have downtown, where it's easy accessible to be able to go to different locations. Here, I think the bikes are so much more beneficial because you could just ride to wherever you need to go. Not only that, but we don't have taxi services. And the Uber and Lyft system is, I guess, pretty conveniently used around here too, but again, you're not going to get a ride just as easily as when you were downtown or on the north side. So
yeah, the Divis and the Ubers and the Lyfts actually did. There's a lot more prevalence of those people taking people around. So the bikes also, they come with if you've seen them, they come with baskets on the front. So if you're going to do a little shopping or whatever, you can put something in the bike. Interestingly, so you've probably seen the red ones. These are actually called jump bikes.
Oh,
right, and these bikes I haven't actually ridden this, but looking at the data on the website, and we're going to provide the domains and stuff in the comments. But apparently these jump bikes are actually mechanized. They have a little engine in them. It says that instead of just having to pedal the bike, you can actually turn on a motor or something, and it helps you
go a little faster.
Yeah. Wow. So with a little less energy. So if anybody has any examples of riding the bikes or experiences that they've had, please share them with us. But so the jump is, the way that works is they're charging $2 for the first 30 minutes. And every minute after that is 7 cents. So it seems like the price point for a lot of these is about 30 minutes. They don't feel like you should have a bike for more than 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if the point is just to get from point A to point B, most places you can get there within 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's what they're... So the idea behind the bikes mostly is that they don't expect you to have them all day. They expect you to kind of need to lock them up and everything. The inconvenience of having to figure out where to lock your bike. Buying a bike even is an expense that some people don't have. Storing a bike. So it's all there for you. It's kind of everything is in there. They do have a monthly plan. They have some other plans too. So I would recommend people go take a look at that. But one other bike that actually I wasn't aware of until driving in today was there's a green bike called Lime Bike, Lime E, and it says that this is also an electric assist bike, and it's dockless. So kind of similar to the red jump bike, but
so you just leave it.
Yeah, you see, I'm looking at the websites, but most of the bikes come with some type of locking mechanism that's actually on them, because there's no dock that you're actually setting it up to. So everything's got a lock on it. But the bikes are a great way to get around, a great way to kind of enjoy the neighborhood, ride around with families. I've seen more people riding the bikes. We do have bike paths in the community, so it's just a fun way to get around. And even though we're coming into some heat this weekend, with the weather cooling down, I think it could be a lot of fun for people to kind of explore the neighborhood and take the bike, because there's really no place outside of the 10th Ward, outside the southeast side, that is bad to park it. You can as long as you're parking it within the area where it's defined by their boundaries, which is the entire neighborhood, you're fine. Yeah. So you could park it in front of your house, really. As long as it's on something that is like a pole or whatever.
Blocking the pedestrian way and
exactly. Every bike actually has some kind of rules that they want to make sure you're not doing anything crazy. Helmets, they recommend you wear helmets. But
what says here, do not park at fire hydrants, call boxes, utility poles, boxes, and bus bunches. So it's, kind of common sense locations that you wouldn't park at. But I think this is amazing. Definitely the community needs to take advantage of these programs, because the more that we do take advantage of them, they see we're using them, the more of these programs that we're going to get into our community. So I think this is awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's great. And everybody should take a look at the websites. We're going to share the websites, a little bit more information in the comments, but they're all pretty affordable. Some bikes have actually like veterans discounts and senior discounts and stuff. So great way to get around the neighborhood and have a good time.
Yeah. And let us know if you've used any of these. Let us know which one you prefer, if you have a preference for one, what the difference was for you, and which one did you find easier to get to and easier to use. Just give us your feedback. We'd love to hear more.
Yeah, talk about your app experience. Talk about if you felt it was worth it, because they're really up and coming, and it's a great way to get around the neighborhood. So
yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Sam. I love that information, and thank you for filling me in, because I was very intrigued and interested on the different color of bikes, and wasn't too sure that there was that big of a difference, but
yeah,
hey.
It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Here we go again.